Good morning, guys. Monday morning again. Super awesome. Good morning, Ruben. Good to have you on again.
Good morning, guys. Very, very excited. Early morning, 6:30 a.m. Monday, we're here
That's
again.
awesome. We've got really powerful stuff for you again here today. We're talking about the power of nice and how that can empower your financial future. There's so many things that we can talk about on this. The book that we're writing. Ruben, did you know that today is the anniversary of when we're filming this, is the anniversary of when we went around the world 2 years ago.
That's
Can you believe
amazing,
that?
man. That's amazing. You know what? You said
May
today,
1st.
and I was confused. Wait a second. Is this when it's going to show or we record? Okay.
No,
it's
this is
when
when
we record.
this is when we're filming this. But super exciting. I can't believe it's been that long. But the book that we're writing from our around the world trip in the helicopter, we keep alluding to this, but we're kind of assuming you guys know about this. Ruben and I flew around the world in a helicopter 2 years ago. We broke 2 world records. We visited 46 countries, flew just over 60,000 kilometers, and had, I would say, what we would call a life-changing experience from that. And that's where we sort of came up with this whole empowering people and inspiring change. And the principle that we saw again and again, this is something that Ruben's been honing for his whole life. And I feel like I've done it as well for a lot of my life, but I don't think I ever put a term to it. But Ruben was the first one that I had heard that actually put a term to this, the power of nice. And the more he talked about it and the more he explained it to me, I felt like, wow, this is such a powerful thing. And I think it's really powerful to share it with you guys right now. Ruben, why don't you start talking a little bit about it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know what, Misha? You were telling me about the world trip, and I'll tell you one thing.
Mm-hmm.
I did not invent that name until we had the trip, okay? I knew
Interesting.
I knew it was very important in my life. And sometimes you come to a moment that you realize and say, wow, this is actually what's happening. And let's put a name to it. I like to summarize stuff. I really like to put things in a very black and white and very clear way as much as possible. So I was thinking during our trip, because we were applying things that we're going to share today, and we thought, and I actually thought, and I shared with you, I think it was a flight somewhere, we were flying somewhere, and I said, this is the power of nice. You know, we're applying the power of nice. So the different things that we're applying, I nailed that, I give that name to it, right? So the power of nice is very simple, is considering the other so important that it will become important to you. Now, it seems that it's kind of confusing, but I did it on purpose. You put somebody else's interest first because there's going to be a reward for that. If you do it the other way around, which, okay, I'll be nice if he's nice, for example, then it doesn't work, okay? So the power of nice is that you assume that you're giving first. And you're generally interested on somebody when you meet them the first time, the second time, 10 times, whatever. But especially it works tremendously to open doors, okay? I call it like a door opener. Remember that we had to open a lot of doors on that trip? Remember that?
So many doors.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
So, guys, I'll give you some example. And on the trip and then in business. One example was we had to fuel up on this trip really quickly, okay? Because the time was very important and critical because we wanted to beat the world record. So once we get to a place, we had no idea who we encounter. It could be somebody that will have a personality that is very extrovert, very introvert, very suspicious of you, or very, shocked that you were there. So we wanted
military,
right? Exactly. So we wanted to first analyze and see what type of person am I looking to understand where they're coming from. And this is the first step of the power of nice. You got to understand where people are coming from. And you got to understand a little bit of the culture. You're obviously going to make some assumptions. And we went through 46 countries, so many cultures we saw.
46 countries.
Somebody in India is completely different from somebody in Colombia. You saw that, right? Misha, right?
Exactly. It's so different, yeah.
But once you get to a new culture, you don't assume they think the same way you think. You look, you observe first, you see what type of person, and this is kind of, the more you practice, the more better you're getting at it, right? And so you get into a situation and you want to understand where they're coming from. And you want to understand, you want to see an opportunity to generally, so in a genuine way, not in an artificial way, but in a genuine way, to praise the person in something that you see that is praisable. Okay, you look at it and say, okay, this guy actually has a wonderful smile, right? And he comes with a smile. And why don't you just go ahead and say, man, you're smiling. I like your smile. What are you smiling about, right? A very simple question. And this will generate a reaction on the other side that they will be thinking, wow, why is this guy is asking this? No, that's right. I'm smiling. So I better tell him because it's genuine. You're not inventing. You're not making it fake. I'll give you an example. Yeah. We were arriving in Pakistan. And Pakistan has very bad housing. We know that, Risha, right? Very bad housing. Yes. So you don't go so if you want to be truthful, you don't praise the housing. They have a housing problem. Every country has good things and bad things. But we were approaching Pakistan and we saw these amazing beaches. Remember? Completely
near Pasni.
Near Pasni, right? So they were completely deserted, right? And we saw those amazing beaches. We say
zero tourism whatsoever.
Right. And what did you say? You said this will be amazing for what? You talk about tourism. You said this will be amazing for what?
Yeah.
For
hotels and resorts.
Hotels and resorts. I remember you said that, right? So we were impacted by this. We were observing. And then when we landed in this airport, and we thought it's going to be a difficult moment for us, obviously different cultural and very military and all that stuff. When we landed, we had something that was genuine, which was truthful, and actually we were motivated to share. And the first thing I remember when we landed, the guys came over to us and say, man, you have incredible beaches. This is a wonderful country. Congratulations. Which was true. It was absolutely true. This is the fundamental thing. You cannot invent things. If you go and for a business meeting and an assistant that is usually what they call a gatekeeper, right? Could be on the phone or could be in person. They're there to keep the boss, right? From safe, keep the boss safe. Let's put it this way, in an exaggerated way. But if you go through that gatekeeper in a type of mindset, you don't care about the person, you're doing a very bad thing. You're shooting yourself in the foot. That person is extremely important. So you got to look at the space. You get into this meeting. You look at what's going on, and you always have something to be grateful and to praise about that is genuine. And if you do that, you open the other person's mind in a way that is mind-blowing. Because the person will be looking at you and say, well, this guy is actually paying attention to me. In a very, in the most simplistic way, they're paying attention to me. So the power of nice is engaging with the person, first step, in a genuine and truthful way. And you always want to start with a positive thing. Even, Misha, I don't know, have you fired people?
I haven't. I've had to let people go, but I've never had to fire somebody.
Okay, so let people go is hard, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is, right. Yeah.
And I had to let people go many times, not many times, relatively in absolute times, but not relative times, right? And in relative terms. Yeah. But I had to do that. It's a really hard thing to do, okay? Or have you have you actually had to correct somebody and that you actually like to work with, but they need to really correct something, and with that correction, they will go much further in their career. Have you found that?
Exactly.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, I have found that, yeah. But it's a hard thing to do. Yeah.
It is a hard thing to do. Exactly. Hard thing to do. Now, if you start by, okay, I want to talk with you, Misha, there's an issue here. And I think that you're not doing this correctly, and it's very serious that you should correct this as quickly as possible. What's going to happen, right? You're going to be very defensive.
Yeah, you're going to get a really negative feedback from that.
Exactly, right? Now, the correct investment in this relationship will be, hey, listen, Misha, man, I need to talk with you. First of all, you are doing your auto rotations in an amazing way. I really love them. Man, the way you do it, you're nailing those kids on the right spot, okay? Truthful. You're not inventing, right?
Yeah.
And so your mind will be like, oh, okay. And now I'm in the listening mode, right? I'm no longer in the defensive mode. I don't even imagine what this guy is going to talk to me about. But everybody likes praise. Now, you start with praising. Why? Because first of all, it's truthful, okay? And you want people to listen, right? So if you want people to listen, people listen to things that they like to hear first. Okay, they like to hear praise. Right. So you start with the praise, which is truthful, and then you progress with things that you could do better. Okay, Misha, you do incredible auto rotations, but let's talk about when you get the first student on a helicopter and the first briefing you give, you're probably rushing things too much. You have to give it more time, and you have to give it more preparedness, more materials. Now, how could you improve this? So if you start with that, that aspect first, you have your mind closed.
Yeah.
But if you start with a praise, it will make a huge, huge difference, right? So the power of nice is applying on business things and even personal things of your own life. Let me tell you another example. Every place I go, I try. It's kind of a hobby that I have, and my wife is always teasing me, and my kids as well. There you go again. Here he goes again. But they like it actually. I like to ask for discounts just for the fun of it. Okay, it's fun to ask for discounts.
You taught me that, and it's so fun.
It is, right? So, if I ask for a discount, let's suppose that I go to a store and ask for a discount, and we'll talk later in another episode about rejection. Nobody likes a rejection, but the more you expose yourself to rejection, the better you're going to be. There's some secrets to the rejection that are wonderful. But let's suppose that you don't want the rejection. Nobody wants the rejection. So the first thing you go to a store, are you going to arrive there and say, hey, listen, I'll only buy this if you give me a discount, right? What's going to happen, right?
No, it's not going to work.
Not going to work, right? So you have to invest in this relationship with that person, and you got to look at the store, pick up the good things, ask questions, be interested, and look at the details of the store, how they actually treat their customers, and say, man, you guys are doing really great, right? You are actually paying attention to details. I like the way that you did the flooring. Now, where did you buy this flooring? Yep. You don't only say, I like the flooring. You put another 2 or 3 questions which are genuine and say, where'd you get this flooring from, right? So people say, well, this is not just a script. This is actually some interest is behind. So you engage in a conversation. Yeah. Once you have engaged in the conversation, I do this application of my hobby, which is, let me ask for a discount, right? So again, the power of nice is something as an introduction to put the mindset to people. Now, I remember one thing, Misha, that I'll never forget in my career is one of my first companies that I had was a IT security company. And we had an opportunity in the late 90s, mid-late 90s, to have a partnership with Microsoft. Now, who doesn't want a partnership with Microsoft, right?
That's a pretty good one.
It's incredible, right? These guys could open up the doors tremendously. And I remember to have this meeting in Europe with one of the directors of marketing, and I set up the meeting. I brought my marketing director with me, and we wanted to establish this really intricate, very a lot of complicity of a joint venture. You know what I mean? So we wanted a lot of things from them. Yeah. They will endorse our brand indirectly. They will bring their people, for training. They will expose us to their clients. They will do pre-sales, a lot of those things. So we set up this meeting. They knew that, we're growing on this. And the marketing director was in front of me, nice guy, came over, and I started asking questions, right? So, what do you do, and what are your interests? And, I don't remember exactly what were the details, but he told me that he had this wonderful thing with his wife, nothing to do with Microsoft, okay? Which was a new Mexican restaurant. Now, listen, Microsoft, Mexican food, not exactly what you're expecting, right?
Yeah.
Not exactly.
So it was so easy to just discount that and move on, right?
Right. So my first reaction will be, nice, you have a Mexican restaurant. No, let's talk about the partnership, right? No. So
exactly.
He came to me and said, oh man, in this conversation, I'm super motivated. I just got a new restaurant here, like 405, a new shopping center, and I'm learning some stuff. And I said, what are you learning? What are you learning, right? Because if something engaged, I asked a question about a catalog or something. Was it something that generated the curiosity? So I heard this guy talking about the restaurant, and I saw he was so passionate about restaurant. I said, listen, okay, first of all, I have something to learn from him, for sure. Okay. Mm-hmm. Many years later, this was like in the 90s. Today I have a restaurant. I never thought I had a restaurant. And sometimes things that we establish some decisions, we make some decisions, we don't know where they came from. And there's this sense that the intuition, it was just intuition. Okay, but intuition
I think we'll do a whole video about that. I think that's such a critical thing, not knowing what you do today, how that's going to affect something in the future.
Absolutely, right. That will be a very good intro. So finishing the story, I think this will wrap up the power of nice really nicely, is that I was talking with him and asking questions about his restaurant, right? So he was telling me things, details about this, and I was I was fascinated. This guy really knows, because when people are passionate, they really educate you. That's one thing,
Yeah.
So you want to find the passion, so there's an opportunity to educate you. So he was going on and on and on. And you know how long we talk about this restaurant, Misha? We talked literally
Most of the meeting?
It was 3 hours on the restaurant. Okay,
Oh,
3
man.
hours.
Wow,
And one time
incredible.
I will give you this detail. He got a phone call from his assistant. He said, "Listen," and I was kind of concerned, because the assistant got in and said, "You have this phone call." Got his phone call. I said, "No problem. Let me pick it up." He went away to pick up the phone call. Okay, and in the meantime, I was with my marketing director. Okay, the guy that I brought, and great guy. We worked together many years.
Yeah.
But in the beginning of his career, and he actually remembered this many times, he looked at me and said, "Ruben, we're going for 2 hours." He almost told me, "Sharpen up, man. Sharpen up, right? What's going on here? We're going for 2 hours. Nothing is happening. You got to do something about this. Guy is wasting our time about this, almost dumb restaurant."
Yeah.
He was a little bit upset with it. He's wasting our time.
Yeah.
And I looked at him and said, his name was João, leave it with me, okay? Just relax, okay? I want to talk about a restaurant. Forget about the rest. So he came back, continued about the restaurant. Obviously, his mindset changed a little bit. He came back and he said, "Oh, Ruben, okay, what are you talking about? What exactly are you guys here for?" He actually forgot, because he was so engaged about the restaurant, he forgot. And I said, and I told him, "We want to do this partnership with this, and that." And he said, "Well, what's the problem, right? Let's get the contract and let's do it." Because this was amazing, the application. The application of Power of Nice is be interested on the other human being, And we left that place, Misha, and for my business, it was a game changer. We left that place with
night and day.
So many other things that we thought, because anything we asked for, doing a conference inside their auditorium once a week for their clients, unthinkable, right? And they would call their clients to do it. And he said, "You can have this, absolutely, you can have that, and have that." And it was all about relationship.
Amazing.
You establish that relationship, with the Power of Nice. The Power of Nice is a way that you get the other person's interest first, because you actually want to come up with something that is a win-win, right? So you value the other person in a very genuine and very raw way, right? You smile. The power of smile is so big, because you smile. It's really hard to smile and the other person doesn't smile. So that's an application, a very simple thing of applying Power of Nice. I think we have done, quite a bit of talking about this. We have a lot to talk about, but this is something you guys can apply.
And I think the summary on that is what you said just a second ago, is relationship, right? Mm-hmm. Because everything that we do in life is built on relationship, business partner relationship. It doesn't really matter what aspect of your life it is. It's always going to be built on a relationship. And if you have that with somebody, they're going to trust you so much that you're going to be able to accomplish so much more with that person than if you had just made a quick passing, a meeting or something like that. This person, you probably would have pitched all your stuff to him, and then he would have said, "Okay, leave it with me and we'll get back to you."
Right.
And you would have had to send 5 or 6 follow-up emails, and maybe you would have gotten the deal, but then nothing probably would have happened after that, because you never had that relationship. But because you built that, there was more opportunities for more things to come after that. He was now interested more in you, and he wanted to help you out as well. And so that syndicate type project was critical for you in that situation, and I think it would be for people in their lives. So if you guys haven't thought about the power of nice, the term the power of nice, I'd encourage you guys this week, spend a little bit of time thinking about that. Think about your personality, the interactions that you have with people, and whether or not this is something that you actually do in life. If it is, be more intentional about it. It's fantastic that you guys are doing it. If it's not, I would encourage you, Ruben would heavily encourage you to focus on this week. Just every interaction you have, doesn't matter, if it's a cashier at a store, doesn't matter if it's a CEO at a business, try and apply this principle, this power of nice principle, and see what it'll do for you. You may not be able to reap those rewards today or tomorrow, but those rewards definitely are going to come if you build this as a principle in your life. So leave some comments below, you guys, on if you guys have applied this in your life, and a couple of quick short stories about how that's sort of affected you in your lives. All right. Give this video a thumbs up. It does us so much good. It's such little things that you guys can do for us, but it does us so much good. If you just do these little things, a thumbs up button, quick and easy. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, I encourage you to do so. Hit the bell so you get notified of new videos every Monday morning, 6:30, and share this with your friends. There's so many people out there, you guys, that are suffering right now. And I think they would find this super impactful. So please share this with them. And until next time, you guys, we're going to talk to you later. Keep the smiles on. Keep that power of nice coming. See ya.